1,250 points of Astra Militarum versus Imperial Knights. This is game 4 of our slow grow campaign, and I have some friends.
Hello.
Yo. How are you, sir?
That was awkward. Matt and Nate have joined me. It actually just isn't me rolling dice by myself, and I think that's cool. Anyway, we've got supply cache is the mission. So what we're doing is we're putting 6 objectives on the board, and each one that you score, you roll a die, and whoever rolls a 6 first, that's the objective for the game. That's the only objective that matters. There's no Slay the Warlord, there's no line break or anything else. It's score the objective at the end of the game. So I'm really glad that Nate has brought Astra Militarum. That is a super elite army with very few bodies that can't score anything.
That was how I designed my list. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep, I got rid of everything else.
And Matt's here for moral support when my knights get shot off the board. 1,250 points of Astra Militarum on the nose, 1,250. And you're running a battalion of Cadian.
Correct.
Let's hear what we got.
All right. I've got 2 HQs in this list. One's the company commander, then the tank commander. I'm burning a command point so they can both have relics. The dude on foot's having the Death Mask of Elanius. The tank commander is having Karab's Aquila. The Death Mask, the one that gives me the invul and allows me to heal myself D3 wounds once a game.
Because he's a beat stick.
I've never used it. I don't know why I take it. And then the tank commander is using the Karab's Aquila, which is the command point farming one.
Yeah, so, very good.
Yep. Moving on to the troops, I've got a total of 5 troops. I've got a 20-man conscript squad up front there, which that's new for this battle. And then I've got 4 infantry squads. It should be noted they all have missile launchers in them. However, for the purposes of this game, we're counting them as las cannons.
Very good.
Every heavy weapon team on the board is las cannons.
As you should.
Yep. So the 4 infantry squads, 2 of those have plasma guns. Everything else is straightforward. Got 1 elite, that's my commissar hanging out in the center there. Fast attack, I have the armored sentinel over on the left hand side there with the heavy plasma cannon, and then my 4 heavy weapons slots. 1 is a heavy weapons team with all las cannons, and then the 3 Lehman Russes. All of them have heavy bolters all the way around. 2 of them have battle cannons and 1 has a demolisher.
Wow. I see that the conscripts are going to try and prevent my knights from stomping into tanks.
Yes, they are there as meat shields.
Okay. Fair.
That's, well,
1250. 1,250 point list of knights. I actually come in at 1242 because apparently you're not supposed to play knights at a low point level. But what I'm running is 2 Questoris Knights chassis and 2 Armiger chassis, and I have the Armiger Warglaves. Both of them come as kitted, but with the heavy stubbers on top. I have a Knight Gallant, so he has the Gauntlet and the Reaper Chainsword, and I've thrown an autocannon up top on him because I had some points. And I have a Crusader chassis, and he has, of course, the Avenger Gatling Cannon, the Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, and I threw a Storm Spear rocket pod on him for just a little bit more bomby goodness. Now, before my warlord for this battle is actually going to be the Crusader, and with that I've given him Iron Bulwark, Ion Bulwark, which gives him a 4-up invul. But I've also used a command point called the Exalted Court. It's 1 command point, which allows me to name another character and give him a warlord trait. And I've given mine the warlord trait to essentially he gets a command point back at the beginning, and he can reroll any 1 saving throw, shooting, dice roll in the game. So it's kind of a gimme. It's a free. You use it and you go back. I've also burned another command point, so this brings me down to 5 command points to start, and that's the Heirlooms of the Household. That allows me to put another relic on a character. So On my Warlord, the Crusader Knight, his rapid-fire battle cannon is going to be the Thunder of Volturus, which, if you watch the last battle report, you'll realize is decent. And on my Gallant, I've replaced his gauntlet with the Paragon Gauntlet. So it's no longer a -1 to hit, and it does a flat 8 damage of fun. So that's what I have there. Going in 5 command points, 1242. I can't wait to get shot. And this is the table after deployment. Nate luckily won the roll-off.
Oh, yeah.
And you picked Hammer and Anvil. So odd that you did that.
Yeah.
So let's go over the Astra Militarum side that we have here. We have, oh geez, tanks and bodies
Everywhere.
across the board, but you put one of the objective markers here, and more bodies. Yeah, it's too much. An objective marker there, an objective marker there, and going to my side of the board, well, right in the center, I put one there for you because I wanted you to stretch your legs today. And my deployment side, well, I put my Gallant on my far left flank, an Armiger in the center there, or next to him. In the center is the Crusader, and on the far right flank is the Armiger, and he's actually controlling the last objective marker there. Oh no, wait, I lied. There's the last objective marker at the church. So with that, we're looking at a nice spread out of objectives. Pushed. It's going to be a lot of movement in this one. Let's see who goes first. I keep rolling ones.
But we tie. Because
Because +1 to deployment. Let's reroll. I roll a 1 again.
I'm going to go first.
Weird. Astra Militarum turn 1 movement. The tanks moved up.
Oh, yeah.
Only 6 inches, though.
Correct.
Your Sentinel ran a solid 1 inch.
Boom.
These dudes.
They stayed put and slid around the side of the building a little bit.
Okay, so moved.
They moved.
That's technically... No, I get it. You know, turn 1, why not cheat a little? All right, these guys ran...
Yep, they ran a great 5 inches, so I had 11 inches out of those guys.
Pretty much Blood Angels.
Yeah.
And...
Everybody else just pushed up just enough to get in range of the big guy. These two, the heavy weapons team and the infantry over here, stayed put. So.
Wow, that's almost not fair.
Yeah.
Astra Militarum turn 1 shooting, and it is a turn you needed.
Yeah. Not bad.
So let's start over here with your tank orders.
Yep. Did the pound them to dust so I could re-roll my turret shots. Got 8 battle cannon shots off. Hit with 4 of them. Successfully wounded with 3.
And he put them all in on here, of course, because of my handy Games Workshop Imperial Knight dice. I failed all of my saving throws.
And I got 5 wounds through.
5 wounds through, so he's down to 7. What else you got?
Everything in here shot on the big guy in the middle over there.
Yep, shot on my Crusader.
Yep. Notice he has taken no wounds.
Yep, I did the rotate ion shields on him. Correct. And I made his, he only had to make 2 saves, but I rolled a 6 and a 3 because of rotate ion shields and ion bulwark for his warlord trait.
Yep.
He was safe.
Yeah, the 2 last cannons and the infantry squads whiffed. The ones you were saving were out of the battle cannon.
Yes, very good.
Over here on the far right.
You got your last cannons.
Yep. They shot down at Tiny over there in the corner.
And of course, again, Games Workshop specific Imperial Knight dice.
My dice are Games.
I don't know, they aren't. And failed to save against the last cannons coming from over here. So I dropped him down, or you dropped him down to drop 6 wounds off him. So
Correct.
he's down to 18.
Yep.
Turns out he doesn't care.
No.
Well, that was a quick interruption. Turn 1 Knights. Nate.
This sucks.
I rolled for the 1 objective marker I had with this guy.
Yeah. And these dice we're complaining about?
The dice I complained about.
Yeah.
There they are. That's a 6.
So that's the objective.
Well, get rolling. Imperial Knights turn 1 movement. Well, I moved my Crusader back. I also moved my Armiger back to hide a little bit from his tanks over there. I moved my Gallant back, and then when I had to think about whether pushing forward or not, but I couldn't have made a turn 1 charge, so I moved him back. I know he's going to get shot, and I left my other Armiger there to hopefully screen a bit. So that is it. Let's see what shooting I can get. Turn 1 shooting from House Terran, and this is not what House Terran wants to do, but I shot the rapid fire battle cannon relic, Thunder of Volturus, all the way over into this Leman Russ, and it chipped off 4 wounds from him, and I also shot the Storm Spear rocket pod, but it failed to wound. So that is it for him. And this Armiger is out of range. My Gallant actually shot his autocannons up top there. He shot those into the heavy weapon squad, or I'm sorry, just the squad.
Yep, infantry squad.
Infantry squad over here, killing one off, because he can't hit for anything. And this Armiger is actually in range of the conscripts, so he shot his thermal spear.
Yeah, that guy's dead.
And his heavy stubber and killed another. So 2 out of the conscript squad. Whee! Turn 2. Astra Militarum, turn 2 movement, and now you've got the hustle.
Gotta move.
All right, over on this side, we've got the heavy weapon squad that actually ran.
Yep, which is sad.
Well, you know, when you place good terrain.
Yeah, there's a church in the way.
Turns out.
Infantry ran, so they moved up. Conscripts up here in the front, they ran.
And it should be noted that the conscripts lost 2 more models to morale.
Correct. Yep, these guys just moved up 6 to get in some line of sight on stuff. Sentinel moved up. He didn't advance because he's got some range on things. Infantry moved up there in the center. They moved up just to 6 because they're in range now. 1 tank just moved forward, just moved to 6 so he can shoot a little bit. The Demolisher slid around. The tank commander there, he did run because he didn't have anything to shoot at. He just moved forward just a little bit there, and then that last infantry sat tight because he's actually still in range.
Is it ever exhausting that I moved 4 models and was done in about 30 seconds?
I only moved 4 as well, and then I moved the rest.
Fair. Astra Militarum, turn 2 shooting, and what's really hampering you is needing to move everything.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, my ballistic is still going down.
This infantry squad and this infantry squad shot their last cannons all the way down into my Gallant. 1 got through, and I rotated ion shields on him, burning another command point there, dropping him down 3 more. So he's at 15 wounds left.
Yep.
Pretty much your battle cannon on your Leman Russ, your heavy bolters from your warlord here,
yep,
shot down into my Armiger Warglaive, and I made 6s, a lot of them, and which is surprising.
Battle cannon went into the big guy.
That's right.
But you blocked those.
Yep, blocked that with his ion shield. So rotating ion shields on my Gallant kept him alive, but I really want my Gallant to throw a tank, and you need to stop shooting him for that to happen, Nate.
You ran him away.
I thought we were on a team here.
You ran him away.
No, I didn't. That was a tactical withdrawal, sir. Imperial Knights, turn 2 movement. I've moved my Armiger Warglaive up close to the conscripts. Armiger! This Crusader I just shuffled over so he can actually see, and my Gallant I've moved up so he can't.
So he's not running away anymore.
No, this is an advancement. He's very brave. Turn 2 Imperial Knight shooting. Well, let's start off with Armiger Warglaive. He shot his Melta into what used to be a Sentinel.
He's a little crater.
I rolled a 6 for your damage.
Yep.
You roll a 6 to explode,
oh, yeah,
causing a mortal wound there, a mortal wound there, and a mortal wound there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that went great for me. Shot the heavy stubber then into here, killing off another.
Yep.
Over here, I shot my autocannons down into this squad as well, killing off yet another.
Yep.
Actually, another 2 out of that squad.
Yep.
I shot Thunder of Voltaurus, the rapid-fire battle cannon, down in here, stripping 3 wounds off him.
Yep. And
I also shot the Storm Spear rocket pod, 45 points. Not really sure if I'm ever going to pay for that again because it failed. Actually, no, it put 2 wounds on. You just made those saves.
Yeah, it should be noted, he made 5 5-ups in that whole
He did make 5 5-ups. Turn to Imperial Knights Assault. The Armiger, of course, with his House Tyrann, 3d6, made 11 in charge, wrapped around to this side. Killed off 5 conscripts.
Yep.
You swung back, wounding none of them, and then I was able to, or due to morale, you lost another 5 on top of that. So, still locked in combat for the minute, but that was it.
Not bad.
Turn 3. Astra Militarum, turn 3 movement. What happened here?
They stayed put.
Oh, they should.
Yeah, they moved up a little bit because the name of the game is running at this point.
Where'd your conscripts go?
Away. Towards Professor X over there.
Good idea.
They stayed put. The Lehman Russ tanks all moved forward. The very scared little group of guys there in the center is the infantry squad. They moved up along with the commander and the commissar there.
Okay.
The infantry squad that was up here on this building is starting to skirt to the left over here.
Right, because turns out there's an objective behind that building over there.
I don't know if they'll make it, but we got to give it a shot.
You know, if you ever get confused of where the objective is, just look for the knight.
Yeah, both of them.
Astra Militarum, turn 3 shooting, and wow.
Yeah.
That was interesting. So you started with this heavy weapon squad over there. You went with this infantry squad. This infantry squad, not that guy. This demolisher. Your tank commander. This squad here with a las cannon. And this Lehman Russ. All into my Warglaive Armiger.
Took all of it.
I did rotate ion shields on him, but it took everything into him to take those 12 wounds off. And then I used the Noble Sacrifice stratagem. He blew up on a 4-up, and he did D3 mortal wounds. He did D3 mortal wounds to these conscripts, taking out 2.
Yeah.
D3 mortal wounds to this squad here, taking 1 off. D3 mortal wounds to this tank, taking 2 wounds off him. D3 mortal wounds here, taking 1 out. And over here, another D3 mortal wounds, taking 3 out.
Yeah.
You also, what did you lose to morale?
Conscripts actually made their morale roll.
With a 1.
With a glorious 1.
Yeah.
The squad over here next to the Demolisher used the Commissar's leadership, so they were good.
Sure.
These guys over here passed their leadership. And this one over here is within range of the Commissar as well. So
he was good on morale. So they all passed morale, but they took some from... He did more damage blowing up than he did really in any other...
Yeah, he chipped some paint, but then killed 8 guys by blowing up.
Well, so running him up, he ate a ton of shooting and then put some damage back in. But then your last Lehman Russ here shot in with the tank orders to bring it down, and took him down to 17 wounds, my Crusader. So that's pretty good. Turn 3 Imperial Knights movement. I kept them there, but I moved my Gallant up mid-board. I am hoping to make an incredible charge. Well, that's not really an incredible charge, but I'm going to hope to make it all the way over here at some point. We'll see if I can make that happen. Turn 3 Imperial Knights shooting. Oh no, the autocannon shot into the heavy weapons team, whiffing. The heavy stubber shot in though, killing 1 off. The Crusader, I needed some heavy lifting out of him, but the Avenger Gatling cannon shot into the Demolisher, not wounding at all. And then the heavy stubbers actually did some damage, killing off the just down to the heavy weapons team out of that squad. And the Storm Spear rocket pod and the rapid fire battle cannon. The Storm Spear rocket pod, I'm never bringing again. 45 points, no. 45 points, no. Don't roll dice. It did nothing, but the battle cannon took off 3, and that was it. It was very lackluster.
Yeah.
Imperial Knights turn 3 assault. I, of course, made it with my Gallant with a 9-inch charge into the conscripts. My main goal, of course, was to smash through the conscripts and get up here with the 3-inch consolidation, but I am just out. Actually, it's about another 3 inches there.
Yep.
But I have also blocked down your fast-moving vehicles. You got to get through me.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
And I gotta get over there.
And then you still got to get over here. So, turn 4, Astra Militarum. Astra Militarum, turn 4 movement. What moved?
Yeah. Big item of note would be the tank commander there.
Ooh, yeah.
He moved 12.
He got some wheels, fast and furious.
Yep. I rolled a 1 for my advance, but I've got a billion command
And he is coming in on the objective over on this side.
Yep.
Over here, you moved your tanks up.
Yep.
You moved this. Oh, no, you kept all of your infantry still across the board to get the best shooting options and just shuffled these tanks up. I guess we're probably going to put a smoke cloud here in a minute.
That is the plan.
Astra Militarum, turn 4 shooting. Oh, no.
That didn't go as well as we'd hoped.
Well, everything shot.
Everything shot into the same thing.
And took him down. He has 8 wounds left.
Yeah, so I put 8 through.
But he's still here. He has the Paragon Gauntlet.
Yeah. Ugh.
I'm more excited. It's fair to say, I am more excited than you are.
Was it game 2 that you threw a tank at me?
It was game 2, and now it's going to be game 4. Imperial Knights, turn 4 movement. Well, we all saw what was going to happen here. Gallant moved up. Armiger has moved around the side of the building. And my Crusader has also moved around the side of the building.
Your movement went faster than mine.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Imperial Knights, turn 4 shooting. Let's start with the Crusader. The Crusader shot his Avenger Gatling Cannon and Storm Spear Rocket Pod into him.
Yep.
Strips him off, strips 6 off with the Avenger Gatling Cannon. But with the Storm Spear Rocket Pod, you saved both of them.
Oh, yeah.
2 of them got through. That would have been D6 apiece. That would have been awesome. But it wasn't. The Armiger shot him with his Thermal Spear, failed to wound with the Thermal Spear, but the Heavy Stubber, coming in clutch, stripped 1 wound off, leaving the Demolisher down to 4 wounds left. Over here, the autocannon shot down, killing off the last heavy weapon squad. The Heavy Stubber shot over, killing off 1 out of that squad, and the Rapid Fire Battle Cannon shot in down here. Oop, right there.
That one.
Taking him down to 1 wound left. That is it.
Yeah.
Imperial Knights assault. Imperial Knights turn 4 assault. Holy cow. Holy cow. So I barely make it in with him. I roll 3d6 for House Terran, and I roll 3 1s.
Thankfully, you were just outside of an inch.
But I was just outside of an inch, so he makes it in close combat with this first tank here.
Yep.
I use the Paragon Gauntlet.
Yep.
He's in his lowest tier right now, but he is a Gallant, so he still hits on 4s even in his lowest tier, which is awesome. I hit with 4 out of the 5. I wounded with 4 out of the 5. Of course, being a flat 8 with the Paragon Gauntlet, he died. He did not explode.
It's 32 wounds.
But on a 4-up, which I rolled a 4-up, he gets to pick him up with the Paragon Gauntlet, the tank, and heave him at the model 9 inches from him, which I did. I heaved him at this model that had 1 wound left, and he detonated. With D3 mortal wounds, he only had 1 wound left, he was gone. He did not explode either, and then I consolidated forwards towards this tank. This guy...
I'm not even mad. This is awesome.
This Gallant... just taking rounds and rounds of shooting, coming up and picking a tank up and smashing it into the other and going, yeah, I might be centerboard. I might be on 5 wounds left due to Overwatch and everything else.
Here I am.
But I've got a lot of smoke around me too. This guy literally has explosions blow up behind him and he doesn't even turn to look. From turn 5 movement, they moved.
Yep. He stayed put. They stayed put. The commander and the commissar are just inside the edge of the building there. Unfortunately, heavy weapons team had to move because there's a big building in the way, and I couldn't see them with other than one dude, so they moved up.
Who put that there?
God, I don't know. The infantry squad there stayed put, and then over on the far side there, my tank commander, he moved forward just a teensy little bit, trying to just close a little distance on that objective. So.
Very good. And if you had said the God Emperor, you would have been correct, sir, for 10 points.
That's right.
Astra Militarum, turn 5 shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, this is a fun army.
It's actually a tight game.
So, you shot into my Gallant with...
With everything over here, basically.
Yeah, but you shot him with this Demolisher.
Yep.
And that's finally what killed him.
Yep, and you rolled...
And, of course, I rolled a 6 for him to explode.
Why wouldn't he?
And then I rolled it's 2d6.
Yep.
So, I rolled 2 more 6s.
Yeah, so 12 inches.
12 inches. Pretty much everything but the heavy weapons team took d6 mortal wounds.
This infantry squad took 3. Commissar is dead. The commander there took 3. Left with him is 1. This infantry squad also took 3. And the tank took 1.
That's amazing. And over here, this team shot and failed to hit.
Yep.
And then the Demolisher from him, he put pound them to dust on himself. And the Demolisher did short work of the 3 wound Armiger left.
Oh, yeah.
Leaving on the board only my Knight Crusader left against this. But that's all that might matter. But guess what? I'm still going to shoot with turn 5 because it's fun.
Because see where this goes.
Imperial Knights, turn 5, and we really just shot for fun here.
Yeah.
But I put the rapid fire battle cannon down into him, taking 6 wounds off, and I put the Storm Spear rocket pod, which I will never purchase again, the Avenger Gatling cannon and heavy stubbers into him, and only stripped 2 wounds off him.
Yep.
But I really wanted to charge him.
You do.
But I didn't because the mission states that whoever controls that objective. And if I had charged him, I would have been out and not been able to control it. So, Imperial Knight victory. Nate, that was awesome.
That was a fantastic game.
Lots of explosions. I really enjoyed that. And coming back in at 1,500 points, I've got a few cards up my sleeve, and I'm sure you do as well. So... few shenanigans. Thanks again, man. That was too fun. It was too fun.